Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Market Close Report for Tuesday, the 21st of July. Well, the Aussie share market's flat run continues. Quite a remarkable period for market where we've had 5 flat finishes in 7 days, which is really unheard of for this time of year. But we've had the ASX 200 up by 2 points or 0.02%. So I guess technically an improvement. It does end a 3-day losing streak, but it's probably rich to call that again. It's finishing at 8,793 points. So I think it just highlights that the market is in no mood to really pick a direction, I guess, when it comes to how the market's moving overall as a group. Certainly, if you look at sectors, there have been more meaningful movements, but they've largely been offsetting and cancelling each other. So since the start of July, the Aussie share market is up very, very slightly, but has been kind of slowly sliding into what's close to being a negative territory. So the widening US-Iran war certainly not helpful. We've seen oil prices coming a bit in trade today, but last night they were up about 1%. They're up about 20% since the start of this month as well. The US launched more strikes on Iran over the past day, and this was hours after President Trump warned that Iran will pay for killing 3 American soldiers. Now, one thing which did receive a bit of attention throughout the session was news which was overshadowed in large part that there are some attempts, it seems, to potentially have a bit of a pause in the conflict or the war, which will free up potentially some time for negotiations. But that seemed to calm oil prices a little in Asia trade. It saw gold prices lifting a little as well, and it did support the Aussie dollar. But as far as sectors go locally today, we still had tech stocks, certainly the big winners, lifting about 3.2%. That's reversing the 1.5% decline yesterday, but remember that tech is still down about 18% this year. Energy stocks also up around 0.5%, and the materials also giving a helping hand, up about 1.3%. Now, there were big losers on the market today. Healthcare, which has been a bit of rotation into recently, down about 1%. And the financials, those big banks, weighed as well, falling by about 0.7. Communication services down about 0.9, and consumer discretionary, those retail stocks, also find themselves in the red. Now, if we look at the winners on the market today, we had South32 lifting 6.6%. The miner yesterday essentially beat its production goals for the year for many of its commodities. A reminder that it has agreed to sell its aluminium business to Alcoa for more than $5 billion at the start of the month. So already did lift about 10% on the 1st of July. Today it's up 6.6% after receiving a share price target lift by a broker. NextDC up about 7.7%. It had a new contract today for its data centers capacity, and the broker also said that it could help boost profit expectations as well. Evolution Mining in the gold mining space was up a good 5.6%. A number of others like Bellevue and West African also benefiting from the 1.2% lift in gold prices in Asia trade. And Telix Pharmaceuticals deserves a mention, up around 1.3%. It was up about twice as much earlier, but it recorded a 7% lift in revenue over the June quarter, 20% jump in revenue over the year, which means that things are tracking towards the upper end of its own guidance as far as what it was flagging for goals. Now, Telix is a radiopharmaceutical company, which includes a group of prostate cancer imaging products, and its products are commercially available in 22 countries. If we look at the losers on the market today, HUB24 was one of them. It fell about 4.2%. Now, despite handing down a quarterly market update today, which included a lift in the number of advisors using its investment platform. So now it has around 5,650 advisors using its platform, which is 11% more than a year earlier. Also had the biggest lift in market share compared to its peers over the year as well. So about 10% market share now. And it's had a 24% lift in funds flowing through its platform. And the reason why that's important is a lift in assets on its platform just means higher revenues and fees as well. And Helia deserves a mention, 10.1% lower. So quite a big drop. A price target cut from a broker today who thinks that the mortgage insurer could actually be negatively affected by declining property prices and higher interest rates as well, because this could lead to higher claims, can be a weight on earnings. Helia is also sitting close to record highs, and it's also in its 5th straight year of of gain. So that's important, an important consideration. And finally, many of the lithium stocks under pressure today, down around 5% for Liontown, but really that was something shared by others with lithium out of favor today. Now, as far as looking forward is concerned, now really the main day this week is going to be Thursday. Thursday morning is when we're going to get a couple of updates from major tech stocks out of the United States, Tesla and Alphabet, the two of them, but also Thursday during the session we're going to get important jobs data, which will be key for interest rate expectations moving forward. So tonight will be certainly a bit quieter, but we do have General Motors, Charles Schwab, 3M and Hasbro and Halliburton all expected to release their earnings ahead of the US market open tonight. And then tomorrow the likes of Beach, Lynas and Westgold will be out with quarterlies. Touching on the Aussie dollar, it's actually gone back above 70 US cents. It's sitting at 70.2 US. It also strengthened though against the euro and the Japanese yen. We'll hope you had a great day, everyone. We'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow.